All right, Vinny, last night, so we had Warriors-Lakers, great ring ceremony in San Francisco for the NBA champs. And then the team that they beat them in 6 games, really overwhelmed them when it really mattered. The Celtics, first game with that guy, Joe Mazzulla. Who? Joe Mazzulla is their new head coach. One and done, Ime Udoka. He'll never coach the Celtics again. I think that's clear. Everybody knows that. And I said it looked the same, but different. You know, the same core, Jaylen Brown and Jayson Tatum. No surprises there going off, Vinny. But Jayson Tatum, after a bad finals, really looks like the first team All-NBA guy that he was last year. And Jaylen Brown looks like he belongs either on the first or second team with him. Pretty incredible. Question is, you tell me, I'm very close to it, maybe too close. Is that enough? Is that enough to get the Celtics back to the NBA Finals and have them in position to win it this time?
If Giannis didn't exist, sure. Like, I will be perfectly honest with you, because I don't believe in the Philadelphia 76ers as a staff, record label, and a crew. I just don't. I think James Harden is on the downside of things. Joe Mazzulla, a guy that qualifies as an all-star of, is he or isn't he? That's it, you got that one. I think he is, right? I think he is. I'm not sure that he is.
Well, hold on. Are you going to ask that question at a press conference? Hey, Joe, how you doing? Vincent Goodwill, Yahoo Sports. Just want to. So, I mean,
is you know, or is you ain't? That'll be the question. That'll be the question.
So, Joe, tell us about your family.
No, I'll ask him the Mike McDaniel question. Do you shower once a day or once every 3 days? Then that gives you the answer.
Let's go down like 4. Do you use the lotion provided by the hotel, or do you bring your own? That's a good one too.
Do you mind being ashy? Being ashy is usually a telltale.
And if he says, what do you mean by ashy? What's ashy? There's your answer. There's your answer, okay?
No, but anyway, said Joe, we appreciate you. No, I feel like this. I feel like for the Celtics, they found a formula last year, right? You had 2 guys that scored a lot and a bunch of dudes that defended. Once they figured out, and you had timely shooting from the Marcus Smarts of the world and Grant Williams and Peyton Pritchard at times and everything else. But you had 2 guys that took all the shots and kind of dictated the offense, and everybody was largely okay with that. It only became unraveled in the finals when you came across a defense that pretty much forced your best players to do things that they didn't want to do. There were hardly any teams this side of Milwaukee when they had Chris Middleton that could impose their will on you. Now, if you look at the Eastern Conference, you look at Brooklyn. Well, Brooklyn is the same questions we had last year. Will Brooklyn keep it together long enough? Will something come up? Do you trust them? I don't trust them until proven otherwise. Philadelphia, I've seen their movies before. Miami, I trust them. I wonder if they have enough top line talent. Can Bam Adebayo be the best player 2 or 3 given nights in a series to augment, what Jimmy Butler brings you? We saw what happened in the playoffs in that playoff series. So the only team to me that leaves is pretty much the Milwaukee Bucks. And I stand on the table. If Chris Middleton was healthy, I think the Bucks are not only in the finals, but they're giving the Golden State Warriors a really, really good run considering how big they were and considering the matchup advantage that Giannis gives you. But not taking anything away from the champs or anything like that, because they came back and did everything. There's no buts included, worthy champions and everything else. But from a Boston perspective, that's the team that I fear more than anybody else in a stacked Eastern Conference. And you don't know how much coaching matters until you got a coach that don't know what he's doing.
I'm telling you, and I don't know if he's that guy or not, Vinny. It's a good point. I don't know what Joe Mazzulla has. Like last night, he walked into the locker room. He said some things. They gave him like They gave him a shower, a water shower. Hey, Joe, first win. And the owner gave him the game ball. Congratulations. But I'm telling you, I can't really think of many examples of teams that have come 2 wins away from winning the NBA Finals, 2 wins away.
Mm-hmm.
Then the next year, they go to a coach that not only changed coaches, but go to a coach who's never coached in the NBA before. I mean, that, and there may be an example. I've set those parameters, so it's pretty narrow parameters. Went to the NBA Finals, didn't win it, changed coach, and the new coach has never coached in the league before. Maybe that has happened in the history of basketball. I can't think of it. And if it has happened,
post-merger, I'm having a very hard time.
Me too.
The only thing I can think of was maybe Mike Dunleavy replacing Pat Riley during the end of the Showtime era, but that Lakers team had gotten eliminated in the second round as opposed to making the finals, which they had made 2 years prior to that. But it's such a sea change. It was such a sea change, and it wasn't made a month before the start of the season.
That's the other thing.
With a head coach who's, basically younger than me. You know what I mean? He's the youngest coach in the league, I believe. He and Will Hardy with the Utah Jazz, along with Oklahoma City. But Oklahoma City and Utah rebuilding situation. And that's the thing.
You can have a young coach, yeah. Yep.
Because you're growing with the team. When it comes to those moments and you're looking to the sidelines and you're Jayson Tatum and Jaylen Brown, guys who we know are headstrong. Remember, they were so much of, I won't say a headache, but they were so much to deal with that Brad Stevens said, you know what? Even though I'm really good at this coaching thing, get me up out of here. What you think they're gonna do to poor Joe Mazzulla when it comes to the moment of truth? Now, granted, I'm not a huge fan of Mike Budenholzer myself, right? He won a championship, and I still don't think that that you're matching wits with him on the sidelines. But Joe Mazzulla against Mike Budenholzer, Mike Budenholzer might be running circles around that man in the playoff series. Here's the thing, though, Michael, and this is what I will give the Boston Celtics. Don't discount the value of what this season, of going through this season, will do for Joe Mazzulla and the Celtics. So by the time April and May come around, they know each other a little better than what they do now. There's fewer teams that I would think of that's going to make more of a jump as far as internally, maybe not as far as winning games, but as far as being comfortable with each other between now and April than the Celtics, because of these dynamics, because you've added Malcolm Brogdon, who probably fancies himself as a coach on the sidelines or a coach on the floor.
That's right.
Adds a little bit of maturity there, adds a little bit of decision-making there so that you're not self-destructing in those critical moments. We've always asked Jayson Tatum and Jaylen Brown to grow up fast, right? We've asked that of them from the moment that they came to the league, from the moment that they were in the Game 7 against LeBron James in the Eastern Conference Finals, and they've largely passed the test. Now we're asking them to make the biggest leap possible against arguably the most inevitable, the most irresistible force in the East, Giannis Antetokounmpo. Maybe that's asking a bit too much.
Well, here we go. It's October 19th, right? So on October 19th, I'll say this statement. And, I've been wrong a time or two in the past, and I've come out and I've admitted it, and I've changed my position when presented with new information. But on October 19th, Vincent Goodwill, I will tell you that the best duo in basketball is in Boston. It is Jayson Tatum and Jaylen Brown. You cannot find a better duo today than those two. You might find a better player. Giannis is a better player than either one of them. Steph Curry is a better player than either one of them. But as a duo, you cannot find a better one. And I think that may be enough to get them back to NBA Finals, the NBA Finals realm, okay? Not necessarily winning it, but back in that conversation. Give me a better duo today, October 19th. You can't.
Okay, don't ask me a question and then answer it. Are you badgering the witness here, or are you giving the witness a chance to examine his options? Might I present to you, counselor, the MVP? Yes. The MVP, Nikola Jokic, along with a Michael Porter Jr. or a Jamal Murray. Take your pick, right? Because that's the MVP. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Say MVP. But see, you got me with the MVP. I'm like, MVP? Yes. And We fall apart with the and. MVP, yes, love him.
You haven't seen Michael Porter Jr. You ain't seen Michael Porter Jr.'s movies. That kid is excellent. And might I also present to you, I am in Los Angeles right now, where the weather is beautiful. And might I present to you a duo that plays the same position, Kawhi Leonard and Paul George.
Okay, here's the thing. About those, and I love the way you said it. I've seen the movies. Those movies have been on pause. And COVID's over now. Okay, we're back in theaters. Like, can I see the movies? Can we come back to the movie theater, please? And you might be right. If Kawhi Leonard and Paul George are healthy, it's tough to argue against them. LeBron
Kevin
and
Durant,
Anthony
Kyrie.
Davis.
Oh, my bad.
No, not Kyrie and Durant. No. Hey, thanks for watching Brother from Another on YouTube. Make sure you hit subscribe before you leave, and be sure to watch us 3 to 5 p.m. Eastern Time on Peacock. Appreciate you.